Right now, we're managing around 38 different businesses that are all selling some kind of high ticket service online, whether that be agencies, coaches, home services, financial services. We have a bit of a mix. And what we're doing for them is helping them restructure their offer. We're helping them run paid ad systems into a funnel that we've built them, therefore turning that into cash and new clients for them. And all of this is a lot of fucking work. And the only way we can do this is because we've built systems around every single step of this. And I'm going to reveal these systems for you today too, so you can use that to go and manage your own clients, or you can use that to build into your own business and just copy what we're doing. Now, before I get started, there's a keyword that we need to learn here, and it is productized, okay? Previously, everything that we used to do for clients would be custom. So we was building like custom AI solutions, custom AI platforms, custom automations. And I see this a lot. There's people that sell like all these different services. Maybe you're an agency and you're selling like SEO, you're selling web design, you're selling graphic design. And basically you're an expert of absolutely nothing because you're selling absolutely everything. And this is the problem. You end up getting boxed off in this category, meaning every single client that comes through the door needs something completely different. So there's no like linear way of working. It's like custom proposals here, custom team members here, backup here, and it's a complete fucking mess. It's really, really, really hard to scale. And this is naturally where a lot of people go down. They head down this route, especially in the online space. Rather than actually focusing on getting better at selling that one thing, people just start adding loads of different services into it because they think that that is the way to do it. They like spread their bets and think, oh, well, maybe people will be interested in SEO more than they would be in paid ads, or maybe people will be interested in my graphic design services rather than just my web design services. And it's the wrong way of doing it. If you look at like a roofing company or a HVAC company, what do? They focus on one thing. They don't really deviate away from building roofs. That's it. And this leads me to where you have to be, because managing 38 clients every single month in a custom way is very, very difficult and just not scalable. We wouldn't be able to really go any further than this. It would just be too much. My hairline's going as it is. It would be completely gone if this was fully custom. So what we had to do is we wanted to find a way that if there was a particular person right here that was struggling with a certain type of problem, we could build a system that, if followed, meant that they would get results every single time. And this was something that we could repeat. It was something that we could scale. It was something that we could bring in team members for, to ensure that every single time the process is the exact same. They're the same steps. So what you want to be doing is really understanding, what is a process that I can take my clients through to ensure that they get results and they stay with me. Because when you can do that, then everything is scalable. It then becomes a system that we can repeat. So for us, we've got really 5 steps. And across these different steps, we know that if we hit all 5, then our clients will get results. And they don't really need to be doing much more than this. Now, we're not working with Apple. We're not working with Google. So we can keep things relatively simple. We're trying to help businesses go to $100,000, $200,000 per month. We're not trying to take them to billions of dollars. I don't know how to take a company to billions of dollars, but I know how to do this very, very well. And we've perfected the system. And the only reason why this works is because we focus on working with one type of business. Right? And at the beginning of this video, I said we work with financial companies, HVAC, home services, online agencies, coaches, consultants. But what do they all do? What do they all have in common? Well, they sell high ticket services, and they do that by getting clients online. What we found is we can actually get people high ticket clients by using ads and then sending those ads to a well-structured funnel into a sales appointment and a close. And this is how we help our clients. And it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer. It doesn't matter if you're an agency selling websites. It doesn't matter if you are a guy who's trying to fix roofs in the Phoenix area in the US. Like, the same process applies. It's building ads, it's setting up a funnel, it's getting people to book in for a call or an appointment, and then it's collecting cash and making money. And the only reason why this works so well is because they're selling high ticket. We're not working with e-com stores, because if we did and we just took on e-com stores, then this process wouldn't work. They wouldn't be sending people to a call. They wouldn't necessarily need like a crazy funnel. They'd have a completely different structure of ads. So this is what you have to do inside of your business. You have to determine, okay, who is it? What is that one type of person I'm trying to sell to? And can I build a system around them? Now, we focus on high ticket services because, well, when you're selling high ticket, you can go and spend a lot of money on ads, and there's a lot of room for error for you to still make a lot of money. We've got a financial service company who makes around $25,000 to $30,000 per client on that first year. He can afford to go and spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 acquiring that client. He's not spending that. He's spending around $1,500. So he is absolutely printing on paid ads. And the only reason he can do that is because he has so much lifetime value from every single customer and client that he lands. Therefore, this makes a lot of sense to him. So look, what I want to do is dig into these different 5 steps and show you exactly how we set it up and what we do. Now, step 1, I'm just going to call setup. Step 2 is going to be offer. Step 3 is going to be funnel. Step 4 is ads. And then step 5 is scaling. And this is really the 5 unique steps that we look for when we work with every single client. And if we don't set up properly, then we don't really get the offer right, which means the funnel breaks, the ads don't work, and the scaling doesn't work. So it's really, really important that we follow every single step here to make sure we actually get results for our clients. And inside the setup, there's a few different things that we need to do. Now, as I mentioned, we've built this productized system. So every single step of the way, we're kind of taking note of like what needs to be done for every single client, and how can we build like a repeatable process so that we don't have to keep starting from scratch or trying to figure out everything with every single new client that we land. So for example, step 1 may be, all right, well, we onboard our client and we start building out a structure and a bit of a timeline of what happens, week 1 when a client actually first comes to work with us. We get them to fill in different documents. We get legal information from them that we're going to need in the setup of their business. We get access to their ad accounts. We get all of their brand assets for when we're building the funnel. We want to work out like what their actual goals are as well. Like what do they actually deem as a success in working with us over the next 4 months? And then finally, do we need to add more team to the Slack? Now, there are probably another 20 tasks in here, but what I want you to do is leave this video thinking about, okay, how can I start doing this? How can I start mapping everything out? Because then managing 38, 50, 100 clients actually becomes possible. And if you don't understand every single step, or you don't have a process to send people through, then it ain't gonna work. So for us, this is what I look at in step 1. I want to understand the client. I want to understand their goals. I want to understand what's working, what's not. I want to make sure they're aware and set expectations of actually working with us and what we're going to be doing for them. And the way that we have to do this is we have to look at this like a system. I have to see, okay, can we automate the onboarding process? Can we have a place to automatically send out documents and store all the documents when a new client is created? In the onboarding, can I collect all their legal information? Does a team member need to reach out and set an ad meeting so they can get access to the Facebook? With the brand assets, can I include that in the onboarding document too and just get them to upload brand assets to a Google Drive? Can we also collect that in the first initial documents? Can we understand what their goals are? And then in the team Slack, can that just be part of the onboarding document too, where we say add anyone else you want inside of the Slack? Because the reason why we do this is usually if every single one of these is a message and it's a back and forth conversation, it would work. But we want to build a system that means that when we bring a client in, there is very little for us to actually do. So in our case, all of this is automated. We've set up systems on the back end inside of Notion, which at the beginning I was like, I'm completely against this. I fucking hate Notion, but it's actually very, very good now. And as soon as a client comes in, onboarding is triggered. All of the docs are already pre-set up, and there's an automation that changes it to the client's name and sends it to them inside of the Slack channel after inviting them. It gives them a video on what the next steps are. We send them a booking link to schedule that ads call. We collect all their brand assets. We find out what their goals are, and we get all of their team in Slack. And all of this is automated, right? So there's really nothing the team has to do here. We have 4 team members dedicated to just setup. They are dedicated to setting expectations and making sure the client feels comfortable. They are dedicated to collating all information and making sure that we have everything we need, following up with the clients inside of Slack to ensure that we are ready to go and there is nothing left unturned. This then means we have a scalable system that we can start pushing clients through, because if we didn't have that in place, then onboarding would be a complete mess and we would have fallen at the first hurdle. Step 2 is we have our offer, and we know that if you get the offer wrong, nothing else is going to work. It doesn't matter how good your ads are, how good the funnel is, how good your scaling strategy is. If your offer sucks and no one wants to buy it, then there's no point. So we spend a lot of time on this, and this is something where I have to really get involved in right now. And what we do is we work out the offer on a workshop.
If you run a service business and you're thinking, I want more clients, and it sounds like Liam and his team know exactly what they're doing and they can help me get them, then in the description of this video, the first link will take you to another video that you can go and watch to find out exactly how we're helping our clients, just like the ones I'm talking about in this video. See you soon.
We initially have the documents that are given to our clients on onboarding, and then once they're onboarded inside of the Slack, they book a workshop, and that is with me and the client on like a Google Meet call. And what we go over is that offer doc. So I'm referencing the offer doc. I'm looking at the questions and the things that they've submitted. I'm giving my own thoughts on whether I think that that's actually good or shit. Most of the time it's not that great, and there's lots of changes we've got to make. And what I'm trying to do is ensure that they're charging the right price so that we know
we have a lot of wiggle room with the ads to make them work. They have the right amount of team in place to actually manage the flow of traffic we're going to send to them and the amount of book calls we're going to book for them. And I also want to just, again, set expectations. The last thing I want is a client thinking that we're going to go and get them 50 clients next week. It doesn't work like that. This is business. So these touch points with me and the team, we're always setting expectations. We're always keeping people in the loop. We're always looking at what they've actually submitted to us and then giving feedback on that and making sure it actually makes sense for the process that we have. Now, every single one of these workshops are recorded. So right now it's quite labor intensive for me, 38 individual meetings essentially across the last few months, working with every single client to help build out their offer and structure it. But because we're now automating the onboarding process, we're automating this document process, we have this workshop process, but they're all being filmed and they're all being recorded. And there's a set way of us working and kind of like a checkbox list that we need to check off every single time. I can slowly be automated out of this process. Eventually, this is someone that is just going to be on the team that will be able to take over this. And instead of me having to be on the calls, I then step into more of a review role and kind of give sign off for everything before it goes live. And this is kind of our scaling and our next step strategy with these systems. Now, the next step is funnel. So once the offer's been done, once the setup's been started, the team are working hard, getting everything prepared, getting all the client assets ready. And to keep things simple and productized, we build everything inside of High Level, right? So every single client we work with, some will have a HubSpot account, some will have different platforms that they need us to integrate into, but everything that we do for them and throughout their time working with us is done inside of High Level. We don't want to be working across different platforms. We want to keep it in one place because with High Level, we have snapshots and templates, right? We understand the platform, we understand how it works, and we've got everything built out there already that we can essentially copy and paste for every single client. And this only works because we're signing one type of client. We're signing high ticket service businesses, right? So if we was to start mixing it all up and if we was to start saying like, oh yeah, we'll just build you funnels, then it ruins the whole thing because our real value is that we've got this whole process systemized. So this is why we only offer this one offer, and this is why we do it all inside of High Level and these singular platforms. Now, with the funnel build, this is very, very straightforward. It's like, how do we capture leads? How do we store them? How do we contact them? And how do we speak with them? And contact speak, this is like cool. So the way that we capture is really simple. We have the same process for every single client that we land. So a really simple funnel, an opt-in page into a VSL that we write and script, into a call page, into a thanks page. Now, again, if we had to change the funnel, we have people that are like, oh, well, I want to do a webinar. That's not what we're doing. We help clients with a VSL funnel. An opt into a VSL, into book a call, into thank you page. That is it. We don't change. We keep it like that because we know that is what works. And remember what I said, our clients, they're not trying to make billions. They're trying to make hundreds of thousands a month. And this is all you need to do that. So we've now got a system where we can capture leads for our clients. And all of these pages are already pre-set up using templates that we've already built and mastered. So it is then a case of taking everything that we've got from the setup process and then putting that into these pages, filling in the gaps essentially on these blank templates that we've got set up. Now, the same when it comes to storing the leads. So we've already got pre-set up pipelines and CRM. We've got pre-set up automations. Again, this is super simple. It's just a copy and paste for every single client. Same process applies. We're not overcomplicating it. We're collecting a lead. We're engaging with that lead. We're trying to get that lead to book in a call, and then we're trying to close them. And that is the same process we're following for every single client. Now, contact, easy. We've got email nurtures, SMS, and we have AI agents to reach out to all of their leads. Again, we already have this all set up. We understand exactly how many emails need to be sent a week, how many SMS need to be sent a week. We understand the follow-up process. We've got all the automations already built. And because it's in High Level, we have all of this in one snapshot. So as soon as a client signs up with us, they already have half of this set up, and we've now just got to go and fill in the gap from that offer document that we built together. And then finally, it's the calendar. So sometimes clients will have a different calendar system. Maybe they've got a Calendly or they're using HubSpot. We just replicate that inside of High Level, again, using templates and snapshots that we've already got. And then that means that we can go live usually within like 14 days of a client first starting to work with us. They've got their entire funnel. They've got all of their CRM and their pipeline automations. They have all of their email, SMS, AI nurture sequences, all of the follow-up sequences, and then they also have all of their calendar systems built and live too. Now, usually this would take like 6 months for people to get right, but because we've now got all of these templates and snapshots, and we've been doing this for the last 4 years, we know what works right away, meaning clients instantly get crazy value from us because whilst we're having this offer call, all of this is getting set up on the back end by all of the team that is dedicated to just working on these parts, and we can go live super fast and get them results that they want to see. Every single
single step of the way, we're always thinking, is there a way we can do this faster? Is there a way we can productize this? Is there a way we can keep it so simple that it removes the chances of clients either one, not seeing results, or two, getting frustrated because it takes too long? And don't get me wrong, we have some clients where it slips through the cracks and they may not come back to us on certain things and it ends up taking way longer than it needs to. But 9 times out of 10, it's the client's fault and it's not our fault because, well, we've got these systems in place and they're working with everyone else. If someone comes in and they throw a stick into the machine and they break it, then yeah, it's not always a pretty sight. But we try to avoid that at all costs. And then the next step is ads. So what do we actually do then for the client acquisition? How do we automate this part? What systems do we have in place? For every single client, when they've got their offer and they've got all their funnels set up, the next step is obviously running ads into that funnel, right? And the way that we do this is for every new client, once we've written their VSL, we then have a system that we push that VSL into to then create ads from that VSL. And again, because we've done the offer, because we perfected that, and because we've made sure the VSL is written the right way and using the right format, we then have a format that we use for the ads. So for the ads, we write 5 hooks, which a hook is essentially the first part of the ad of me being like, do you want to get more clients without ever running a cold email again? Or are you tired of trusting financial advisors that don't actually understand what it is you're trying to achieve? Like whatever, that's a hook. It's at the beginning of the video, it captures attention, it stops people from scrolling, and it's what gets them to watch the rest of the ad. So we write 5 different variations of these hooks, and we write 3 different bodies. And a body is just the rest of the ad, right? It's the text after that, the sales message. And what this leaves us with is it leaves us with 15 ads total for every single client as they go to launch. Now, most of our clients, I'll be honest, have around $100 per day to spend on ads, which isn't a lot of money, but a lot of these clients have been burnt by agencies before. So they're terrified of spending any money on ads. And we know that on average, it costs around $200 to $300 to book a qualified appointment for most of our clients. And that qualified appointment is someone who shows up, interested in the services, can be helped, and would be closable. They are someone that could actually close on the offer that we've helped our client put together and running these ads. And we do the same steps, just like everything else, with every single client. With these 15 ads, we then have enough ads to go out there and test for the first month. Let's say out of all of these ads, 2 of these ads are doing amazingly well, then the team will then alert us and we will say, okay, well, let's go and make variations of those winning ads, which then brings us to another 15 ads. We follow the same system. And then that means that we've now got 15 ads live, all following the same system that all look very similar to the other winning ads. And we keep doing this until we're left with like 6 or 7 ads that are all performing really well, booking calls within KPI, landing our clients, and then we just keep scaling this. We keep spending more on them. We keep upping the budget. Maybe it's $200 per day now. And this is the system we follow. We keep it super, super simple. Again, if we was to be like, oh, well, we're going to get you to film 1 ad and we're going to hope it works. No, let's just follow this. We know the game is about testing, and we can keep it the same with every single client because we're using the VSL to help us structure the ad content. And we are using AI in this process. We don't have a crazy copywriting team that's writing 150 ads every single day for customers. AI helps so much on this. You can literally spit out ideas all day long. No one has any excuses for shit ad creatives these days. But this is our ad system, and this is what's working for us. Bit of elbow grease. Now, the final step of all of this is how do we scale it? What are we now doing? Well, we've got the setup down. We've got the offer process. We've got the funnel process down. And we've actually got the client acquisition, so the ad system down as well for our clients. And this is literally everything that our clients need to go from making, 20K a month to 100K a month because we've now built this automated system for them. They don't have to get involved up until the point of actually jumping on a sales call. So how can we scale this? How are we going to go from 38 clients to working with hundreds of clients in the next few years every single month? Well, this is pretty simple. And I look at it like this. Every single step I block off exactly like this. And I look at each part of this process as if it is its own unique team and its own unique department. If we're lacking and we're working at 70% on setup and we're getting complaints, then we need to add more team members and we need to add more resources and we need to find ways to automate it and make it more of a better process. We need to improve the systems that are running inside a setup. If offer is really labor intensive, same rule applies. How can we remove myself from it? And how can we delegate that to someone else? How can we still keep the same value and still keep the same quality, but remove me as the key bottleneck there? How can we bring in more team members that can actually just step in and manage this? Same with ads. If we're using AI and we're using these automated systems to come up with the content, well, how do we then create SOPs and how do we create internal training so that the ad team can just have more team members inside that, again, are just working, following a set of instructions and a set of rules and set of training and a set of SOPs, right? And then same for the funnel. If stuff's starting to break, how can we improve that master template? Do we need to bring in more team members? It all becomes so simple. So it's all about just building a team. It's all about breaking these parts of your business up into their own independent systems and their own independent machines, and then seeing like, how the fuck do I improve the setup process? How do I improve the offer process? How do I improve the ads process? How do I improve the funnel process? And the only way you can do that is if you're productized. If you're just working fully custom every single time, this is what's going to happen. With productized, it's about bringing in more team members. It's about creating more SOPs. It's about building systems. It's about getting more templates. It's about sticking to the process that you've built. It's about working with one type of client and not deviating, because then it just becomes a game of scaling this. And to do this, there's so many ways you can be using AI and automation. It's not all just about like human energy and human effort, right? You can work smarter, not harder. But if it's custom, you have to bring in different experts. You have to use your brain way more, because you have to think about new and unique ways, because maybe it's a problem that you've never had to solve before. You still need to bring in more team members, but you can't really train them on one process. It's like you have to prepare them for custom work every single time, and it just doesn't work. You can't be using templates because everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to be having their own unique problems. And a lot of the time you're going to have clients coming to you telling you what they want, rather than you going to your clients saying this is what they need. And this is also just way easier to market and sell. Like me going to the market saying I have this complete system that works, and if it doesn't, you get a full refund, is way easier than me going to the market saying, hey, I will build you whatever you want. Because it is fucking stupid. No one wants you to build whatever they want because they don't know what they want. If they knew what they wanted and they knew how to do that, they wouldn't need your help in the first place. They would already be making the money they want to be making. So the only reason why we can manage the amount of clients that we're managing, and it's the only reason why anyone can manage a huge amount of clients, is because they've built teams, they've built SOPs, they've built these systems, they've built templates, they've got a certain process, they work with one type of client. For us, over the next few years, I see us managing easily 300 clients at any one given time every single month. And the only things we need to do to help us get there is spend more on ads, because we're using the same process for ourselves that we offer our clients, and our clients all look very similar to us and they have the same goals. Then this is how we're going to do it. So productize as much as you can, price higher, because then you're going to have higher margins, which means you can bring in better team members, and you can focus on one type of person, which means you can actually build processes. Then your role is, rather than having to use your brain to figure out problems for every single one of your clients, you then just have to use your brain on building systems that can actually scale without you. What is the point of you starting a business if you are trapped in it all day, every single day? I know that eventually I'll be able to step out of this because I'm building the systems, I'm building the teams, I'm building the SOPs, I'm building the training, and we're building the processes of helping our clients go from A to Z. So that's what you need to do too. YouTube recommends you check out this video right here. Apparently you're going to like it. So check it out, and I'll catch you in a couple of days with the next video. Oh shit. See you later.